What's up everybody? In this video, I'm going to show you how you can quickly and easily schedule and bulk upload all of your social media posts using Metricool and their bulk upload tool. Let's get right into it. Now there is a little bit of setup and prep work the first time you do this, but once that's set, each time after this starts to get a little bit quicker and more efficient. I'm also assuming that you've already created all of your different photo video assets for social media, and your content calendar on another spreadsheet is already done. It's got all your different hashtags, etc. And I'm going to show you how you can select all of your different social media profiles you have out there and what the best settings might be, so we can just get this knocked out quick and easy. Okay, so into the computer we go. You're going to be in your Metricool account. You're going to click on planning if you haven't already. And then right here, you'll see these three dots. You'll click on this, hit import CSV, and then it's going to give you an option to download the template. Just click that right there. You're going to save it wherever you want to, and this is what it'll be titled, MTR, right, calendar template. Save it like so. Now I'll also put a link to this specific page right here, which is kind of like the help center that really breaks down everything that you want to understand and learn. I think there's some good content in here that talks about, getting the times right, and examples, and all of these different fields and what exactly these mean when you're uploading different things like that. Okay, so I'll put that down in a description somewhere so you can check it out, but I'm pretty much going to cover everything for you in today's video. Once you've got that downloaded, you can now open it in your sheet editing app of choice. Personally, I prefer Google Drive or Sheets. I just like the way it works. So they've already got some stuff that's pre-populated here just so you have a general idea. If you're not familiar with how to use spreadsheets and Google Sheets, etc., I like to stretch some of these out just a little bit. So if you click here in the upper corner or hit Command-All, it'll highlight everything, and then you can drag some of the rows and columns out to the left and right just to expand them a little bit and make them a little bit bigger. That's just my personal preference, so it's easier to read. And then I always like to freeze the top row so that as I'm scrolling up and down, it never moves. So if you click or select that first row, view, freeze one row, okay, it's going to lock it in place, so no matter when I'm scrolling through all of my different uploads, it doesn't move here. Okay, so this tells you what it's going to give you or what you need to put in there. Your text example, the date, the time, and the date could be in this format, so totally up to you. And we'll talk about how to choose time because that's important. Is it a draft? Is it Facebook, Twitter, all your different social media platforms? So true means that you want it to post there. False means you do not. Okay, and as we scroll through, it's going to have some different things. Your picture URL, so even if you're doing videos, they need to be under 500 megabytes. Picture one or video one, this is going to be the URL, and that's why we're using Google Drive as well to upload so it has access to pull, and you don't have to do anything different. As we scroll down over here, if you want different stuff like this, you can read that other sheet. None of it's really important right now. If you want a special video thumbnail, a couple different things. I don't really use Twitter, but I am going to talk about over here, and I'm going to show you Instagram. Okay, if you want it to be the reel to show in your feed, that would be a true right here. YouTube video title, okay, for shorts and videos. So sometimes you have to put 100 things in there. You need to select right here if it's going to be a video or a short, if you want it to upload as public, private, or unlisted. But if we're automating everything, of course, we're probably going to want everything public. A couple other things, what your YouTube video category is. So it tells you what all the ones are. You're just going to pick one of these. 9 times out of 10, people blogs works the best for everything. And then we're down here, same thing with Facebook. Is it going to be a post, reel, or a story? So you're going to copy that all the way down. I'll show you all of that. And let's see here, TikTok post privacy. Yeah, this is going to be public to everyone so that it's a public post. And I'm going to show you how to copy all of that stuff, and that's exactly what we're going to do here right now. So the first thing I'm going to do to set up my template here, because it's probably going to be the same for everywhere I post, is I'm going to delete these first 3 things right here, because I'm going to put real things in there, okay? And then draft, Facebook is a yes, Twitter is a false for me, okay? So I don't use Twitter. I don't know if you need to be in caps or not. I don't think it matters. So I'm going to put that there. I'll look at automatic. LinkedIn, I don't use GPP. Instagram, yes. Pinterest is a no. TikTok is a yes for me, so that's going to be a true as well. Okay, YouTube is going to be true. I don't use Threads. I don't use Blue Sky. Okay, all of this picture stuff right here, we can pull these out. And this is how you would also do like carousels if you want a bunch of pictures for apps that support that. Picture, alt, and text, I'm just going to delete that because I don't need that. And if you leave some of the stuff in here, it's going to actually throw error code, so you do want to pull it out. Okay, delete, shortener, blah. So video thumbnail URL. So if you want a specific thumbnail for your videos, you could upload that here. I don't use those. Same thing, video cover frame. I don't use those. I don't do anything on Twitter, so I'm going to delete all of this personally. nor do I use Pinterest. Now right here, so we're on to Instagram. 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna do a reel. If this was gonna be a post or a carousel, it would need to be labeled as a post. So we'll change that to reel. This one right here, enable this option true to include the reel in your feed. Yes, true. So YouTube video title, 100 characters length for shorts and videos. Okay, so I normally do shorts. So I'm gonna leave this here to remind me that I need this column filled in as part of my YouTube uploads, but we'll come back to that. Okay, YouTube video, is it a video or a short? It's gonna be a short for me. Do I want it to post? Do I want it to post as public, private, or unlisted? I always want my stuff to post publicly. YouTube video for kids. False, okay? Because 99% of the stuff we should be posting is not for kids, and it changes monetization and the way that stuff goes out there. Unless you do kids content, it's gonna be false. YouTube category, pick one of these that best suits you. But like I said, people and blogs is the main one that I typically use, and it works the best. So I'm just gonna select all of those. I'm gonna add people and blogs, keep that there. If you wanted to add tags for your YouTube videos, you could do that. If you had a specific playlist, you could add them. I don't. Delete GB post. Okay, Facebook, it's gonna be a reel. If you want a Facebook title here, you could put something there. I don't typically. If you wanted to do first comment text, like, let me know your thoughts down below. That's kind of a nice feature. I don't use it. TikTok title, same thing, I don't use it. And then, do you want comments disabled? No, that's not what I want. Do I want to disable duetting or stitching? Personally, no, I like to leave those open. TikTok post privacy, public for everyone, and don't forget to pull out the comma right there. Boom, so that's your set. Branded content, false. TikTok your brand, false. TikTok auto add music, false, which means that, like, you know, sometimes when you upload to TikTok, it automatically suggests a song. Might be fun to play with, but I never use it. If you want a TikTok cover index, no. If you want to use any of this stuff, music ID, TikTok title, TikTok author, all of this stuff, I don't really use any of this stuff here. I also don't use LinkedIn personally, so I'm going to delete all of this stuff right here. Don't use Threads either. So yeah, all the rest of the stuff can go. So now that I've got this all set up and customized to me and the way that I upload to all of my different social media channels, I'm going to download and save this just as a backup in case right here. So come over here, download, save it. And I would probably save it something as fitness, Metricool master template. And now I've got that backed up. Now I don't want to ruin this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a copy, and I might label it as batch 1 because I'm going to be working with my first batch of uploads. Now, if you click down here, you can actually duplicate this tab right here, and that's exactly what I'm going to do, just so I always have a clean copy. This one I'm just going to call master, and then this one I'm actually going to rename to batch 1 so that we are ready to go. Now we can start uploading our different batches here. So we're going to start building out this spreadsheet. I'm only going to do a few days just for the sake of time here, but when you're all done, you're going to have a spreadsheet that looks like this. It has all of your text, all of your dates, times, etc., already built out like this so that you can upload, 2 weeks in advance, okay? Now your first instinct, this is what your original content calendar might look like in some way, shape, or form, right? We've got your posts here, 1 through 30 or however deep you're going. Okay, what's your different ideas, what your overlay screen is going to be. The caption is the main thing that you're going to be copying in here, or any other notes that you might have here. Okay, so your first instinct might be just to copy these all in and paste it. But actually what you want to do, since you've got all of this stuff set up right away, is we're going to copy this, and then you can select this row 3, 4, 5 to infinity, yes, down like this, and then you can hit paste, and now all of this information has been stretched and copied straight down, which is going to make it really easy for you. Now the next thing that we can do is actually copy and paste certain things in. So I'm going to come over here. Let's see how many I did so far. I did 10, right? I'm just going to copy right here from 2 to 11, right? I'm going to hit Command C, come over here to the text, hit V, right? And it's going to copy everything in. If I want to pull this out to the side, I can do that, right? I could stretch these all down just a little bit further, right? If I want to make that a little bit wider, but I know that's going to work, okay? Now the next thing is going to be the dates, okay? You could type it in manually if you want. I prefer to use ChatGPT. I just tell it straight away. I want to start scheduling these posts 1 a day, every day. Today is January 22nd, so start with that, and then give me the output. So here's the prompt that I gave ChatGPT for it to populate what I need. It does have an error, and I'm going to show you how to fix that. And I wanted to include that so it's not just like perfect every time, right? I'm building a content calendar. I'm scheduling 10 days in advance using a spreadsheet from Metricool. Today is January 22nd, starting today for the next 10 days. And I want my post to post every day at 12:30 p.m. I need a format that has hours, minutes, and seconds. Okay, so the date format needs to be year, month, and day. The time format needs to be hours, minutes, seconds. Give it to me in a spreadsheet format that is easy to copy and paste. Okay, so it did what I asked it to do, and it gave it to me in this shape right here. And if I hit copy and I take it over here and I paste it, you're gonna see that everything here is in one column, not separated, okay? So I just need to tell it that that's not right, okay? So I'm gonna open this up. That's a good start, but I need it set up so that when I copy and paste it, it respectively goes into two different columns. So now it's giving me the same thing in a slightly different format. We're gonna copy that. We're gonna come over here to batch one, and then we'll paste it. That looks a lot better, right? Now that is done, bang, right? And you could have done that for 10 days, 20 days, whatever, but now we have the timing put in here. Now, before we move on, there is one troubleshooting that you may or may not experience. This time it copied in perfectly with the hours, minutes, and seconds, but sometimes when you put in 12:30, it recognizes it as a time as 12:30 p.m. It's not gonna work. So what you would need to do is come up here into format. You have to highlight the whole column, format, number, and change it to plain text. And then you'll have to recopy and paste this back in here, and it'll show up like this. But if it says AM, PM at the end, you're gonna get an error code in Metricool. Now we're ready to move on to the next step. So picture one is gonna be the URL. So you should have everything uploaded into Google Drive, set to public, or anybody can view it with the link so that it can pull it. So now we can start to copy and paste the link from your video or photo asset into the spreadsheet. So I recommend making sure that your assets are labeled in some way, shape, or form, whether it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 11, start to finish, or whatever, not just a bunch of random names of whatever it is you created, because it's hard to slot in for each day. So I'm switching after this. So if I'm working on batch one of uploads, who cares what month or year it is? This is my first batch of uploads. And then this is asset number 1, 1-1, 1-2, 1-3 respectively. Okay, but you can see this is here. If you click on this plus icon here, you want to make sure that anyone with the link, that general access is turned on. It is not restricted. Otherwise, it's not going to be able to download the asset and post it on your behalf. From there, you can just hit the link button right here. You'll come over and at picture URL, you're going to paste it right in there. Then you're going to go back over here, come down to number 2, copy the link, put it in, paste it, right? And so on and so on and so on. I'm just gonna do 3 for right now so we can keep it quick and easy. Boom. But if you had multiple pictures in a carousel or it's a photo asset, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 respectively. Now, if you remember, I left this column right here with the YouTube video title as a place marker for me to remember to put some stuff in there. You could also highlight it a color so it stands out while you're building out your spreadsheet here. But YouTube videos need a title, at least 100 characters, okay, even if it's a short. So typically what I do is, since I am creating spreadsheets, if you look at this here, on this one right here, okay, I could try to create an amazing title. I don't really care enough because it's going to figure out what the algorithm, nobody is searching shorts typically 100%, okay? And the caption is actually going to be put into the description of a short. So I just use my overlay text right here that is actually in the video. So I would just come down here and I would copy these 3 or 4 things. And then now up here, I'm just going to copy and paste it. And that's going to work for me. It's an easy solution. But if you want to overthink it, or you think having a good video title as part of your YouTube short is important, obviously you could work that into your workflow. For me, it's not something I'm addressing 100% right now. Aside from that, everything else is looking pretty good over here. And now we're pretty much done. Since I'm only doing the first 3 days, I'm going to delete the rest of them so we don't get any errors. Yes, so 2, 3, 4, I'm going to delete all of that. Yes, and then you can take this and we can save this to the computer. Yeah, download it once again as a CSV, save it to wherever you want. And the exciting part is now we get to come back to Metricool, upload our spreadsheet, and then we are good to go for a month and don't have to do any more posts, right? So you're gonna come back over here. We're gonna come into import a CSV. You're gonna figure out where it is and look it up on the computer. And for me, it's this batch 1. And it's going to pop up like this, and this is not a major red flag. This is actually good. Some URLs couldn't be identified yet. Yes, if there are any actual errors, those will pop up saying like you got a value wrong somewhere on the sheet, and that's where you're going to need to go correct it. Most likely be like YouTube, you don't have actual captions in there or what have you. And you're just going to hit import and it's going to schedule everything and you're good to go. So before we close out, one last thing with the spreadsheets, whether your batch is just a few days or a couple of weeks or an entire month, you don't necessarily need to keep creating a brand new spreadsheet every single time, right? You can always come down here and duplicate this over and over again, right? With a batch one, you can take the master, start over again, duplicate it one more time, slide the tabs down, and then just name that batch two. So that way, if you ever need to go back and reference different posts, or maybe you want to repost something or something worked well, maybe you start to color code these and be like, this was a great post where these other ones sucked, right? You can copy and paste and drag them within the same spreadsheet instead of having to open up a bunch of different spreadsheets. So hopefully that helped you get a better understanding of Metricool and how you can schedule and batch upload all your social media posts in one easy go. If you found it helpful, I'd love a like and a follow. And if you have any additional questions, you can drop those down in the comments below.